What is up, guys? My name is Rob Donaldson, and today we are back with episode number 103 of Rob's Best Bets, and this is a very special episode because I have been getting non-stop questions about the MLB, and if we'll be betting the MLB, and yes, the MLB is my favorite sport to bet on. It's been my most profitable sport to bet on over the past 4+ years, and today we're going to be placing some MLB futures. So yes, it's that time of year. We are in the week of opening day, and MLB is finally here. And for those who are unaware, like I said, this has definitely been our most profitable sport to bet on over the past 4+ years. And baseball is actually my favorite sport, not only to bet on, but it's my favorite sport to watch because not only did I grow up playing it, I have a strong connection to it. And man, with all that being said, I'm chomping at the bit to jump into this video. So let's get right into these picks. Alright, for our first wave of picks, let's start off with a batch of team total overs on wins that I really like. And in front of us right now, we have a host of teams who didn't make the playoffs last year, but listen, each of these teams has a lot of promise, not only in terms of youth in their lineup and rotation, but for teams like the Marlins, Diamondbacks, Angels, and Twins, who I think have a realistic chance at making a playoff push near the deadline. I think each one of those teams has the trade chips to make a potential move, or has enough player control or roster depth that if they are on the fence near the deadline to say, hey, we might not want to make a big move for a playoff push, but let's not blow this whole thing up either and make it a complete rebuild. And specifically for the Tigers, the reason why I included them here, not only do I think those things maybe do apply, but we should also expect to see guys like Tariq Skubal and Casey Mize back at some point. And with this being Miguel Cabrera's last year, most likely, I think the Tigers will attract crowds, and I don't think the team will lay down and die this year either. And motivation is definitely something I look for when you are talking about sort of those lower win totals on future bets as well. With all that being said, let's move on to the teams who I think will go under their projected win total. And with the Mets and Blue Jays, I completely get potential skepticism with a bet like this. A lot of money on both of those rosters and a lot of talent, but the Mets still have an injury-prone rotation even with DeGrom gone, and now you're taking away Edwin Diaz and Taijuan Walker, and this offense still doesn't strike enough fear into opposing teams. So although this might be a playoff team, I don't think we see anything north of 93 wins for them this season. And the Jays are an interesting group because they are one of the top 10 oldest teams in the MLB this season, and they feature a weak farm system and a questionable rotation and a suspect bullpen in my opinion. And when you look at the Phillies as well, this team caught fire at the right time last season, but now they're dealing with injuries to Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, and once again, this team features a really weak farm system, and that is going to cost this team some potential trades if they are in fact in line to make another playoff push. And like we kind of talked about with the win total overs, I'm high on this Marlins bunch this year as well, so the bottom of this division might be a lot more competitive as well, and the Braves are still great. So that's kind of where we stand on the win totals going under for this section here. That being said, let's move into player props now, and let's start off in the American League, where you will see that I'm mainly eyeing the reward winner categories as opposed to the statistical categories, and that's because over the years I've felt as though I have a much better handle on the reward side of things in regards to the player discussion for future bets. And we won't spend too much time on these categories, but with a guy like Anthony Volpe making the opening day roster, I think there's going to be a ton of value with him there, especially because he is a heralded Yankee shortstop on a team poised to make the playoffs once again. And if he can slash anything respectable and play good defense, all the hype in the world will be around this kid to win Rookie of the Year. And then as far as the Cy Young goes, outside of a Verlander or Max Scherzer over the years, or even throw Clayton Kershaw in there, typically you're going to see a Cy Young winner in their mid-20s to early 30s, and usually they are going to be guys who can punch people out at a high rate, and that's the biggest reason for taking a stab at a guy like Cease and McKenzie. And Severino also fits that bill if he can stay healthy, and that's a big if, I get it, but he will be considered one of the best pitchers in the AL this season if he can do so, in my opinion, and that is absolutely worth taking a stab at that number. And as we head over to the NL, the Cy Young angle I'm taking here is very similar, and once again, with a guy like Dustin May, for example, if he can stay healthy, this dude is one of the best pitchers in baseball, in my opinion, and he might even have a Tony Gonsolin-esque year with better stuff. So that's why we're taking a small stab with him at that number. And in regards to the NL Rookie of the Year discussion as well, barring injury, I do think this winds up as a two-player race for two teams who I think will have good winning seasons. So that's why we're going so heavy on Carroll and Walker. And as we round out this video, let's play some World Series futures for both the AL and the NL. And all of these teams, I believe, either have the rotation, the lineup, or the trade pieces necessary to make a legitimate run at a World Series this year. And I think we're extracting a lot of value for only laying down 1.5 units in total in this category as well. And once again, if this is your first year following my MLB picks, as I've said in previous videos and at the start of this one, this is really the sport that launched my following in the sports betting space, because simply put, it's been the most profitable over the years, and there are a lot of unique angles we can take day in and day out during the year. So buckle up, because it is a long season, but it is so worth it, and I cannot wait for opening day on Thursday. So with that said, let's pick it up right where we left off and make it a good year once again. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and if you want to show some love, head over to Twitter and drop a follow at RobDFB. And also, if you want to get involved with our daily pick'em videos over at Underdog Fantasy, definitely go over to Underdog Fantasy and sign up using my promo code RobDFB, and you will get your first $100 matched up to 100%. And we're going to be doing daily pick'em videos for the MLB, because honestly, the player sort of style of betting with the MLB is money for us. So definitely head on over to Underdog Fantasy and get involved with us over there. And with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.